This is Julian, and I'm here in Amsterdam, and what I want to talk about in this video here is how social media conditions us to have unrealistic expectations for ourselves. And this really increases self-hate, just guilt, where you scroll through Instagram, you see all these people just having a blast, the life you want, always happy, always surrounded by friends, always just well-dressed, looking their best, ripped to shit, amazing lighting, and you look at that and you're like, look at me. Why am I not that? How can I ever be that? And you start feeling guilty about it, and you start hating yourself for the way you look, the life you have, because you're not perfect. You don't live up to the social media standards of perfection. And what I want to talk about here is how to snap out of this, seeing the world for what it really is, and just by seeing the behind the scenes of social media, how it conditions you, what's going on here, will help reduce self-hate tremendously. Enjoy. This obsession with approval validation is also massively reinforced with social media, and this is something to be aware of. Okay, social media, amazing tool. I think it's fucking amazing if you know how to incorporate it into your lifestyle in a healthy way, where you're using it as a tool and it's not using you. Absolutely amazing. But it is important to, view it for what it actually is and not get sucked into believing different lies, different things that are not true. Okay, so the first thing, and this is a little challenge I'll give you, is see if you can go one day, just one day, without your phone. One day without your phone, and notice how you feel. And what you'll probably realize is whenever there's not something to do or someone to talk to, you're going to feel very fucking naked and very empty. You're going to feel like you stand out like a motherfucker. If you're out in public, if you're out, say, at a restaurant, just eating by yourself without a phone, you look weird as shit. That's how you think. You're like, oh my God, I'm not holding the phone to look normal. That's what you think. You think people are looking at you like, they don't even have a phone. What the fuck? Like, who's the weirdo in the corner without a phone? If you're walking in the street, if you're waiting for a bus, waiting for a train, and you don't have a phone, you're going to feel like you stand out. You feel like a part of you is missing. So do that challenge. Notice what perhaps comes up. See if you can release some of that. Beyond that, understand that what you see on social media isn't the entire truth. Huge. When you see someone posting, even someone like me, where you see me with a huge fucking smile, and you just see that aspect of me, what we immediately do is we project. So we think that the person who's smiling is always smiling. So you might see a picture of me and you're like, fuck, Julian's always smiling, always killing it. Look at him in fucking Amsterdam in the street with a fucking smile, and look at me in my underwear looking like shit in my computer. And then you start judging yourself there. Okay, so realize that, one, a picture or even a video only captures a certain part of that person. That doesn't mean that that person's entire life is lived in that state. Different things can also be faked. Okay? If someone takes a picture, smile. That doesn't mean that you're necessarily happy, but the picture still captured the smile. So question that. Understand that that's how it works. You're only seeing a small part of a person. Usually the best part, because that's what we put out. And then what do we naturally do? We compare everything about ourselves, everything that we know about ourselves, all the bad shit, versus that picture. And that's an unrealistic, unfair comparison. You'll never win. It'll just keep amplifying self-hate. Okay? Understand, too, that in social media, Instagram, Facebook videos, there's lighting, there's editing, there's a thing called Photoshop. What you're seeing, most of the time, is not the truth. Okay? And this one's big, say, if you're trying to be healthy and you're looking at your body in the mirror, and then you look at all these Instagram, workout people, guys or girls, and you're just like, oh my God, how can I have that body? What the fuck? But then you also don't realize that there's lighting and shadows. And if you were actually transported in the room where there's a lighting and shadows where they took that picture, you would look way different than you do now at home in front of the mirror. There's also something called fasting before a picture, or the pump if you're a guy, or girl if you're really working out, where you really pump up some fucking blood in your muscles and you look way bigger than when you wake up in the morning. There's all these different things that we don't consider. Okay? People also put out different videos, like hustling 24/7. And then you're like, why am I not hustling 24/7? I suck. Just because they say they're hustling 24/7 doesn't mean they're hustling 24/7. So it does reinforce a lot of unrealistic standards, unrealistic requirements that then we try to meet and we judge ourselves by. And you just can't win that game because it's not real, it's not true. Okay? And this is also one that really reinforces our self-worth, by the way, when it's attached to approval or disapproval, because we all try to get tons of likes, tons of comments, and the more comments, the more likes we get, the better we feel about ourselves. We feel enhanced. Okay, so it really reinforces that link. So be aware of that. My tip to you is take some periods where you disconnect from it a little bit. Okay, some days where you're not on your phone. Don't always use it. Like designate some times where you can dive into it, but be proactive about it, not reactive to it. Try to see the behind the scenes and be okay with the behind the scenes. Realize that everyone is human, and that's fine. That's perfect. Okay? That ideal you might be thinking exists doesn't exist. There's no one who is happy all the time, nor should anyone be happy all the time in terms of the emotion of feeling happy. That's the definition of apathy. That's when you feel nothing. It's just flat. No one should feel sad all the time. No one should feel angry all the time. You should feel a mix of it all. You should embody and welcome everything. That's enlightenment. Everyone's like that. I still get angry. I still get sad. I still get scared. And so should you. And just because you don't always see it doesn't mean it's not there. See behind the scenes. Okay? Fuck around just for fun with Photoshop. Take a picture of you and see how beautiful you can make yourself look. And you'll be surprised. You could literally make yourself look like a different person. A different person. You can change someone's fucking nose, their entire face, to look like a different person. Eliminate all the little wrinkles, every little dot, and that person looks stunning. Okay? And when you see that, and then you see another picture on Instagram, and say some model or someone, you look at yourself in the mirror and you're just like, oh my God, look at my skin and look at their skin. I'm a fucking monster. No. Photoshop, lighting, it's okay. So be okay with the behind the scenes. Try to see the behind the scenes, and that will help massively in terms of being okay with yourself. Okay? And another way, too, to really let go of this addiction to approval, disapproval, is to start approving of you. Literally take some time to check up on yourself. Every day, how am I doing? Do you even ask yourself or bring some awareness to how you're doing? No, because we're always chasing other people. Looking externally. No, how are you doing? Look at yourself in the mirror. Hey, how's it going? Did you ask yourself, how's it going today? Probably not. You're like, it doesn't matter. How's it going for me? How's it going? How do you feel? Do a little checkup. Do this multiple times throughout the day. I make, I've done this for actually a few years. I made guys, like when interacting with women, do this while out. Like we're out at a night, I'm like, 30-second break. How are you feeling? And then you kind of realize, like, oh, I'm feeling very rushed and anxious. Relax a bit. Take a little pause for yourself. Do that throughout the day. Instead of being run by all this shit that's happening, take a few pauses just to recenter, reconnect with yourself. If there's something you need, give yourself what you need. Be there for you, approve of you. Take in when you do well, when you stay true to yourself, when you accomplish a certain goal. Allow the success to land. And this one's big, and you might have to do a challenge of writing down, your successes every single day before going to bed. If you're someone who's like, I suck at everything, challenge. Every night before falling asleep, write down 10 things you did amazingly well today. 10 things. If you have trouble, you can try switching up tomorrow so you have that list of 10 things, or lower the bar. What's 10 things you did today? I woke up, I brushed my teeth. Those are 2 successes right there. Lower the bar. Take it in. It's crazy. Like, we rarely focus on when we did well. And we only replay all the shit we didn't do well. If I ask you right now, what are 3 fuck-ups this week? Bam, bam, bam. What are 3 successes? I don't know. Okay? Change it. Learn to improve yourself. And then another really good one that I recommend doing, because every single person, everyone, is extremely self-conscious when it comes to their looks, no matter how good-looking in terms of social standards or not good-looking you are, everyone is self-conscious. Everyone. This is huge. We think it's just us. No, it's everyone. Even those people, like you might scroll through Instagram like, fuck, why don't I have that body? If I looked like that person, my life would be complete. It wouldn't. And that person feels just like you about their body. They're scrolling through Instagram as well, being like, fuck, why can't I look like that person? Everyone wants to look like another person. Okay? So my challenge to you, and this is actually amazing, is it sounds awkward, it's wacky, but trust me, if you really want to challenge yourself and grow, do it. Go naked in front of the mirror. Kid you not. Full naked. And as I'm saying full naked, I know you're imagining me full naked right now. And if you weren't, now you are. Full naked. Full naked. And look at yourself in the mirror naked and just say the words, I love you. See how you feel. You're probably going to cringe. You'll be like, I love you. Because you hate that. You're like, fuck you. Fuck you, dirty, ugly piece of shit. I love my body. Like that, you're going to feel even more. And then get precise. The parts of you fucking hate. Like, I love, for a lot of guys, most guys, 99.9% of guys, I love the size of my dick. Like, And whatever comes up, release it. I love my arms. I love my hands. I love my body. Like every part of you. I love my face, my ears, like every little part. And just let the sensations come up. And all those sensations are basically sensations of resistance to being okay and accepting and embodying everything that you are. Now, accepting doesn't mean that, doesn't make it okay or healthy or that you should stay the same. This little side note. In reality, this is how you free yourself to expand. Because otherwise, you're living in this state of, you like some of you, but you hate the other part of you. And then trying to be healthy is in reaction to the parts of you that you hate, or trying to look different. By accepting everything you are, now it no longer runs you. Now you can free yourself from it. So go through this challenge. Every part of you hate about your body, keep saying it. Keep releasing whatever comes up until there's no charge behind it. And that's the key, by the way. You're no longer run by something when there's no longer any charge. So if you think of being triggered, okay, whenever you're triggered, more often than not, it's linked to past trauma. So say you have a lot of social anxiety. You have trouble expressing yourself. You have trouble being loud in public. As an example, more often than not, this is linked to a past traumatic experience, maybe when you were a child, maybe prior to that, when you were shamed for putting yourself out there. You might have been in school asking a question and the teacher shamed you, or your friend shamed you. And from your perspective as a kid, if you don't fit in that class, because the class is the world, you die. So it's extremely traumatic. And here you are as you're in your adult life, trying to be loud in public, but it's the same trauma you experienced as a kid. The same survival instinct that's saying, no, 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 if you do this, you will die. That is when you're triggered. It's when your emotional response isn't appropriate to reality. Being loud in public isn't necessarily comfortable, but it's not life or death scary. Okay? Some other common ones are breakups. Breakups are not comfortable, but if they run you for years, you're being triggered by some kind of past trauma. So diving into this is key. And when you let it go, you release it, what will happen, and this is how you know you're no longer run by it, is you can focus or bring your awareness to, say, some past traumatic experience. Like, say you were shamed and you actually remember the situation. Instead of thinking of that situation where people were mocking you and just feeling horrible about it, there will be no charge and it'll simply be information. It'll be like thinking back to what you ate at lunch today. Do you feel triggered by thinking about what you ate at lunch? You're like, I ate a sandwich. Oh. No, it's just like, I ate a sandwich. It's just data. No longer run by it. Same with your body. I love you. I love you. I love this part of me. It's just full data. Now you're no longer run by it. Make sense? Yes. Okay. And understanding all these things, by the way, kind of opens this whole new realm to personal development. And this is like my biggest epiphany, like these past few years. It's changing the approach. You know, like there's different advice for different paradigms and different people. Okay. For someone who, say, their life's completely falling apart, they're procrastinating everywhere, and shit just hitting the fan, some good advice is, hey, do this, do this, do this. Let's work on accountability, willpower, etc. But that will only get them so far, as we just discussed. For it to be permanent, instead of, I'm procrastinating, now what? Flip it and ask yourself, why am I procrastinating to begin with? Instead of acting from, I'm not confident, now what? What can I do to be confident? It's, whoa, why am I not confident to begin with? I'm not happy, now what? Whoa, why am I not happy to begin with? It's changing the approach. It's not as pleasant, but questioning the assumptions and then letting go of everything that's keeping them alive is how you produce true, long-lasting personal transformation. Let go of all the shit that's telling you you're not enough instead of just blatantly believing it.
This is Julian, and welcome to Transformation Mastery.
It was fucking amazing.
This was huge for me. This was so important.
This gave me by far the greatest epiphanies I've ever had.
It just made me finally confront my deepest fears.
And we got like real deep, and I found some issues within myself.
One of the best things I've seen so far in my life.
What you're about to experience going through this program is what completely changed my life on every single level. Okay, be it health, wealth, relationships, higher purpose, you name it. This is the stuff that finally produced that true, long-lasting personal transformation we're all after.